Welcome to the 6th week of the Business Management Capstone course. I'm going to try to keep the video shorter this week since now you already know the structure of the class. So let's go ahead and jump into the module for week 6. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to the assignment summary. Obviously, you should always be watching the overview video, which you currently are. The module review is read Chapter 4 and review the PowerPoint presentation for Chapter 4. And then for the assignments this week, you have the course participation, competitively important resources for companies, the Chapter 4 Learn Smart, a case study, which we have not done so far. So you have a case study on Whole Foods Market back in 2014, the Globus Simulation Year 8 report. The majority of the companies are doing fantastic. Keep it up. Keep in mind, you just don't always want to use the same style of the report. You want to mix it up. You want to keep on improving the reports, but for most part, I'm very proud of this group. Fantastic. And the Globus Simulation Decisions for Year 8. Now we're getting into where you're going to find out if you're making the right decisions and if what you're choosing is working or not working. If you're not doing so well up to this point, make sure you're really applying what you're learning as you go and make the right decision for Year 8. And last but not least, we have the quiz for Chapter 4. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down. You know all about the course content within each module. The course participation this week is for competitive important resources, which basically means what are the tangible and intangible resources that are important to a company. So what you're going to do is you get to choose a company and you will identify those competitively important resources, tangible and or intangible. I'll give you 2 examples. For me, I'm from the west side of Cincinnati. Preso Chili. Preso Chili has been there forever. Type of food they serve, same kind of food they serve everywhere that you could think of for the most part. With that said, I love Preso Chili. You know, I know my reasons, but without trying to give away too much information for the assignment, you really could analyze the tangible and intangible reasons why a West Sider would go to Preso Chili. Now, if you're not from the West Side, you would probably say, what is he talking about? So I'll use something better. What about Starbucks? Tons of people go to Starbucks. I've been to Starbucks. I drink coffee. When it comes to Starbucks, I will share my opinion. It is truly overpriced coffee. I think it's good, but is it worth the cost? No. So why do people go there? Then again, I'm not going to give you that answer because that ties into the assignment. Is it the tangible or is it more intangible? So I would point you in the Starbucks situation more intangible. It's tangible. The coffee, yeah, it's good, but there's more than that people are paying for overpriced coffee. Just kind of give you, an idea of what I'm looking for here. So not only do you have to list is it tangible, intangible, and what those are, you have to explain why you chose them. So you can't just list because the coffee's great. Well, what else to it? Okay, what makes it the best coffee? What proof do you have it's the best coffee? Or what intangibles? What relationships have they created that why people choose Starbucks over other places? So step 2 of the assignment obviously is review the posts of your peers. And step 3 is provide a comment on at least 2 other posts. The replies must be engaging and meaningful. Like I said about the yearly reports, most of you are doing a great job. Same with these discussion boards, the course participation assignments. Now with that said, there are a few of you are just saying great job, way to go. That's not a comment that I'm looking for. That's not engaging. That's not meaningful. That really doesn't show me that you read the post or not. So for just those minor few, make sure you are actually providing a meaningful and engaging comment, or I will begin to deduct more points because of that. But like I said, for most of you, great job and keep it up. So let me go ahead and scroll down. This is the same format we had the Learn Smart for Chapter 4. You're used to that. The quiz, you're used to that. The new one is the case study. Okay, so here's another new assignment. This is what I was saying at the beginning of the semester. It's easy the first few weeks because all we did is focus on Globus. Then we started doing Globus and the McGraw-Hill Connect assignments. Now we're adding another McGraw-Hill Connect assignment along with the Globus assignments. It's going to seem like a lot of work. Keep in mind, as I promised, it all evens out. It wasn't that heavy at the beginning. It will seem more challenging now, and then it will start tailing off at the end. I definitely took that into account. I'm not giving you crazy amount of work outside what, the credit hours of the courses, but it will become challenging to you. With that said, last semester there wasn't hardly anyone that had an issue with completing the case study. Just time consuming, but you should be okay. And if I go ahead and move down, of course, we have the Year 8 report. Like I said before, a lot of you are it's fantastic. I'm at a loss of words. I even put in some of your comments that some of the best Year 6 reports I've ever seen. So you're already ahead of the game. I mean, your Year 6 reports are looking like Year 10 reports to me. Some of you. And I made that comment, so you know who you are. So great job, beautiful cover page. The content obviously addresses all the topics for the report. You might have included graphs, charts, data to support your information. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, I made a comment to each and every one of you, so there shouldn't be any guesswork what I'm looking for. I've been very easy on the grading initially, because I want you to get a feel for the report, because I did not get examples intentionally. So I've been easy on the grading, but now it's going to start tightening up, because now you know what I'm looking for. All right. With that said, most of you are definitely on your way. And some teams who have 3, who feel like this is overwhelming, keep in mind there are some companies with teams of 2 that are knocking out a ballpark. Matter of fact, last semester, I had 2 teams of 2, and they outperformed all the other teams. So keep that in mind. If you're a team of 3 and you're feeling like you're overwhelmed and you don't know how you're going to be able to do all this work, there's within your group, within your class, there are teams of 2 that are crushing it. So there really should be any excuses. But with that said, if I had to give it a ballpark percentage, I'd say a good 75% of y'all are just doing fantastic. So keep that up. And then last but not least, we have the Year 8 decisions. The reason why I say last is, if it was my preference, I would complete the Year 8 report first and then do the decisions. Now, this is just my preference. You don't have to do this that way, because the report gives you a chance to analyze what you're going to do for the decisions. Now, you don't have to view it that way. You could do your decisions and then basically say, okay, well, my decisions will dictate what I put in a report. That's fine too. I'm just saying my preference the report would really help me analyze what I'm going to be up to for the Year 8 decisions. So real quickly, I know I touched on the video at the very beginning of the course, but under course content, obviously I have the weekly modules, I have the discussion board shortcut, the global shortcut, Learn Smart, quizzes, and cases. So I always want you to at least go one time into the weekly module to make sure you're getting all the information, know exactly what you should be working on. But then after that, you can use these shortcuts to get to the assignments. That's what they're there for, so you don't have to keep on digging through the weekly module. 2 I want to point out. First one will be the quizzes. Okay, so once you access the quizzes, as you can see, you have additional information about the quiz. Obviously, like this one says, it's a chapter quiz. There can be multiple choice, true and false questions. Time limit is 50. Once the test has been started, it must be completed in the same sitting. And it even gives the due date. So just more general information about the assignment. So now if I go back up and select cases, and the case we'll be completing will be the Whole Foods one. It gives you some information about it. It states before beginning this exercise, you will need to read the Whole Foods market case, which is in the e-text. It will also be helpful to review the tools and concepts in chapters 1 through 5. Alright, so keep that in mind. You want to go ahead and review chapters 1 through 5. We're only covering up to 4 this week. And you say, well, what about 5 then? Well, 5, just at least basically, briefly review it. You don't have to read the entire chapter, but it might be helpful to complete this case study. With that said, like I said, I didn't have any students have an issue with completing the Whole Foods case study last semester. So it tells you there are 4 sections within the case study. Each section of the questions are worth 25 points. They can be multiple choice or true and false questions. Total points is 100, and you will be given 2 attempts to complete the assignment. So you have 2 attempts just in case something goes wrong the first time. Just getting used to the case studies. So multiple chances, so really shouldn't be an issue. But great information within there. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into Globus to look at the results from year 7. Here's the year 7 scoreboard. Clearly, as you can see, Company D has the lead with 108. Then you have Company E at 92, and then Company A at 91, and then 90, 85, and 85. So at first glance, you may say Company D's running away with this. And I would say, well, let's look at that a little bit deeper. Company D has a weighted average score of 108 for year 7, but the change from 6 to 7 was actually 0. So they didn't make up any ground. Company E is at 92. They actually lost 6 points from year 6 to 7. And then you have Company A gained a couple points, and B gained 1, C gained 1, and then F stayed the same. Now, what I would say to you is it's really actually a tight race because the range is still very close between 85 and 108. A lot of you are implementing decisions that will take a while for you to reap the benefits from. So don't stress yet. Everyone's doing a great job. It's still a very tight race. I would say it probably would take about year 10 for you to really determine if you're right in the hunt for first place or if you really missed a mark. Next, we have the game to date scoreboard. Then again, Company D, of course, is at 108. All the other scores are the same, except Company A did receive a bonus point, so they're at 91 for the overall game to date scoreboard. Next, let's take a look at earnings per share, return on equity, and stock price. Here we have earnings per share. Company D has best in industry at 7.94. Everyone else met expectations. So great job. There's really not too much work to be done here. Just continue increasing it if you can. But you are meeting expectations. Next, return on equity. Company D has 56.2, best in industry. Then again, everyone else is meeting expectation. So it seems to be everyone's on the right track. This is the first time within the simulation of any of my previous sections of this course that everyone has met expectations so early on. Normally, there's still a few that are not. So keep it up. Stock price. Company D, best in industry, 261 and 1 cent. Everyone else is meeting expectations. There's a couple of you are in the 100 range. Company B is 100 and Company E is 136. So, I mean, still great job. Now let's take a look at credit rating and image rating. Credit rating, A- or above. Great job. Keep it up. Image rating, Company D is best in industry with 81. Everyone else is meeting expectation except for Company E. So with that said, though, everyone's on the right track. And even with Company E, they went from 70 to 71 from year 6 to year 7. So there's really, on my end, no complaints. Everyone's moving in the right direction. Now, this is where I will stop. Make sure you are actually looking at the competitive intelligence reports, though, obviously. Digging in to find out what your competition is doing. Now there should be some true data, since it's been a couple years, that you actually can look at. And as always, please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. And have a great week.